5 affordable fragrances for this summer. This list is not ranked, just some recommendations. A few are $20 to $30, and then another few are $60 to $70. Let's jump right into it. First on the list, Perry Ellis 360 Red for Men. It smells like Aqua de Joe with a cinnamon spice. The opening starts very fresh with an exuberance of lemon and lime. Now the intensity of the citruses do fade over time, but this scent is always going to be about citruses with that spiced edge of cinnamon. The cinnamon spice becomes more prominent after about 15 or 20 minutes, and only becomes more so as the wear continues. Once you get into the dry down, it's still all about the citruses and spices, but there is a subtle woody depth in the base, and that's what you get for the rest of the wear. So the performance is alright. It lasts 6 to 8 hours on the skin with light to moderate projection. Really what you'd expect from a citrus-based fragrance. And the cost, $26 for a 100 milliliter bottle. Second scent, Davidoff Cool Water EDT, the best Davidoff. It opens as ultra aromatic, and there is a strong blend of mint and herbal tones that emphasize a high degree of freshness. This mint is particularly interesting as it has an alluring spice to it that really grabs attention. In the background, I catch wafts of dusty lavender and a faint aquatic backbone. Altogether, it's very well balanced. That's the first 15 to 20 minutes, and then after this period, the fresh herbal tones are retained and the lavender becomes more prominent, lending a greater degree of fresh floral and clean nuances. One thing I will note about the lavender is that it has an old school aroma rather than a classy and modern one. This is of no surprise as it was released in the 80s. Cool Water dries down, and here you'll smell an enticing dose of musk and green aromatics with an aquatic backbone that was retained for the entire wear. The performance is alright. It lasts 6 to 7 hours with light projection. It costs $30 for a 200 milliliter bottle. Third Somerset, Nautica Voyage. My guess is that many of you have tried or have heard of Nautica Voyage from before, as it is so popular. So from the start you get green and slightly sweet green apple and green notes sitting on a fresh and aquatic backbone. It's definitely masculine right from the start. As the wear continues, you get more of that clean aquatic aroma, and then once into the base, it really just settles into a musky and aquatic backbone. This is a very simple scent, guys, but it definitely gets the job done. The performance is alright. It lasts 5 to 6 hours on the skin with moderate projection that recedes after a couple hours. It costs $20 for a 100 milliliter bottle and is one of the most affordable on this list. Fourth, Ralph Lauren Polo Deep Blue Parfum. This is the most expensive on the list, but in my opinion the best. The opening starts with a tropical sweetness from a trio of citruses. Much of this sweetness is coming from the mango note, yet there is bergamot and grapefruit that add a tart and awakening touch in the background. After a few minutes, the top notes transition to a sea of aromatics. These notes mix and mingle for a couple hours. Once the dry down develops, you'll smell green aquatic notes on a woody and Broxton backbone with light sweetness for the rest of the wear. The performance is good. It lasts 6 to 8 hours on the skin with moderate projection. Costs $76 for a 100 milliliter bottle. Fifth scent, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. You can almost smell every note. Right off the bat, it's bright and awakening citruses. There's a combination of pungent grapefruit smoothed out by sweeter and a fruitier mandarin orange. In the background are aquatic accords that only become more prominent as the wear continues. After about 15 or 20 minutes, you get into the heart of the fragrance, and much of the citruses have faded, and they're replaced by a fresh aromatic juniper. It retains the aquatic backbone from earlier, and then once in the dry down after a few hours, it's all about the aquatic backbone with musky nuances. The performance is okay, what you'd expect from a typical citrus-based fragrance. It lasts 5 to 6 hours on the skin with moderate projection. It costs $63 for a 100 milliliter bottle. Thanks for listening. See you next time.